happens when the victory is already yours, but you got to go through what you're in to get to the victory that's already been set.
Bishop Clarence Langston has indeed gone through much to see his victory, and that victory is now being seen by a growing number of people. Bishop Langston is not only a strong force in the city of Detroit. As founder and senior pastor of Word and Action Christian Center, he is also on both radio and television nationwide.
Preachers of Detroit.
Shortly you'll be consecrated as a bishop. Do you have everything straight? When I lay hands on you, I can't take it back.
Don't know anyone with greater integrity, greater character. You know, even before we started the ministry, the man of God had the house off the golf course, the Mercedes-Benz, very prosperous in business. You know, he didn't even take a salary 3.5 years when we started this ministry. The ministry's only 9 years old.
But his life wasn't always fine homes and beautiful cars. It has been a long and hard-fought journey, 25 years in the making. Langston's father was a prominent drug dealer. His mother was murdered, and he grew up believing his aunt, who raised him, was actually his mom.
My mother was steeped in the street life until she was stalked and murdered. And it was something I didn't find out until I was about 12 years old. I was so angry. I was mad at you. I was angry at you.
Langston rebelled, dropped out of high school, and became a drug dealer himself, and wound up with 5 contracts on his life, and was nearly killed several times. In fear for the family, his mom put him out of her house. He became homeless and destitute, and at 19, even tried to end his own life. After crying out to God, he was led to a church, received a visit from the Lord, and his life was changed.
You know, I grew up with Bishop Langston. We grew up together. His grandmother and him stayed down the street from me and my auntie now. It's been a privilege to know a young man that I grew up with, you know, that changed his whole life. For me, it's an honor for me because he's one of the guys that in the block that I always have faith in.
Langston went on to get his GED and trained extensively through Word of Faith International Christian Center, Christian International Ministries, Crusaders Ministries of Chicago, and Great Faith Ministries International.
When I first met Clarence, he was a young man that seemed to be confused. He was looking for something. He was searching for God. And I think the thing about my ministry is that he saw something real, and when he came in at first, he was basically standoffish, and you know, he didn't get involved at first, and I think that he was just kind of waiting to see if what he was experiencing was real. And eventually Clarence began to come closer.
Langston soon found his spiritual father, Apostle Wayne T. Jackson of Great Faith Ministries International.
What I loved about him is that when I began to see the God that was in this young man, he was very hungry for God, and he didn't mind serving, and he was just an humble young man, and I would pick him up, bring him over to the home, and share with him, with the family. And Clarence he was my barber for years. He cut my hair, and he was just a young man that I just knew that God was going to do something great in his life.
God later called Langston to start his own church, Word in Action, where his wife, Robin, serves as co-pastor. They also have 3 children. The church recently, in only the 9th year of ministry, expanded to a 5.4-acre campus.
You look right over here, you can see our rectory. We have over 20 offices. State-of-the-art, beautiful, not for me, for God.
Through the church, Langston has done many great works in the community for a wide range of people. For example, this 500-car gas giveaway, and giving away a new car to this single mother, and helping this one as well.
In 2010, I became homeless that February. My marriage was broken. I slept in a car with my 10-year-old at the time, in parking lots of Myers, hospitals, and anywhere that was well lit and I thought might be secured. I kept coming, going through Catechism 1, and I kept sowing. God blessed me that summer with a nice amount of money. I went to my bishop, who was Pastor Langston at the time, to sow a seed into his life, not knowing that the seed was really for my life. As I blessed him, he stood up from his chair, and I can remember his words saying, "You leave me no choice but to take the blessings that's on my life as a prophet and place them on yours." And that he did. I left his office homeless at 2 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I had a 1,600 square foot condo.
Langston has an amazing gift of prophecy, foretelling major recent events like the Ferguson shooting that sparked widespread unrest.
There's about to be race riots again. Prepare yourself. There is a fear that has hit the earth.
From this weekend, the violence in the streets, stores being looted, and riot police with dogs barking and charging at protesters.
And the devastating floods of Detroit.
Being sent out messengers. And Langston sent out messages and messengers to a city. Come and drink! Come and drink!
Roads remain closed.
The water is flowing again in this city. The water is flowing again.
When the man of God speaks, it comes to pass. My niece, he prayed for my niece. My niece had the spirit of death on her. And 3 days after he rebuked the spirit of death, her car blew up. The car she was in blew up. She grabbed her purse out of the car and the car blew up. Had he not prayed for her, had he not rebuked death on her, I know she would not be here today.
He has touched so many lives in so many ways.
I met Minister Clarence Langston on the job. We used to work together. He used to come in with his Bible, sit by himself, and he was kind of quiet. And me and him didn't get along too well. You know, I was a sinner, you know, did things in life that I'm not proud of, you know, per se. But at the same particular time, I remember the day he got me because he said the devil couldn't have me on his watch because I had a one-way ticket to hell and I was finna die and come out of this world. But he changed that there by speaking something to me that changed my life forever.
Came into Word in Action and he prayed for me, and I used to smoke weed and drink, and when he prayed for me, laid hands on me and told me that God was going to take that taste out of my mouth. But me and my wife got delivered the same day at the same time. You know, so this is a true man of God that carries the anointing of God.
I'm your host, Clarence Langston, along with my beautiful wife, Robin Langston. How are you today, honey?
I'm blessed. I'm excited to be here with you.
He basically taught me how to stay married. You know, he taught me how to take care of my kids, and I thought I was doing a bang-up job. I was going to work, coming home, paying the bills, you know, but he said it's much more than that.
He always gave me the right advice, always told me the right thing. He never steered me wrong. He really taught me how to be the man I am today.
Recently, Clarence Langston's victory was magnificently manifested in this consecration ceremony as he was elevated to bishop. Bishop Clarence Langston is indeed a true man of God.
What he means to me and his family. I just love him.
I love you, Father, my bishop, my pastor. Congratulations. I couldn't have found any more deserving than you.
Bishop, this is your day, sir. I love you.
Clarence, I celebrate with you this day, on this day that it's been set aside to have this bishop's ball, to recognize your elevation to the bishop, office of the bishop. I'm proud to see, as I look back years ago and see where you are now, I am giving God the glory. Also for you to be the man of God, the husband, the father that you are, and the son, because you have certainly proven, and I want everybody to hear this, Clarence is still submitted. I don't interfere in his decision making because I know that he hears from God. I'm there to give him advice, to cover him, to pray for him, his family. But Clarence he is a giver, and I want everybody to know that this man, I've seen this man give to others. I've seen him even go on hospital visits with me and take money out of his pocket and give to people. I've seen this man really from his heart want to please God. And you know, some people may be, Clarence, jealous of your blessings, but your blessings is a sign. And that is a sign to show people that God is with you. It's a sign to show what the Bible says. It says that no good thing will I withhold from them that walk upright before me. And the blessings start at the top and it goes down to the body. God can't bless the body unless he bless the head. And I'm proud to see how you have not allowed those blessings to go to your head. When you're there, you always remember God, you honor God, you honor your family, you honor your spiritual parents. And Clarence is a giver. It'd be nothing for Clarence to come over and sow a seed into his spiritual parents' life. But it's not really about the money, it's about the heart of the thing. You see, some people allow money to go to their heads, but Clarence have always kept his blessings in check, knowing that it came from God. Well, I'm gonna close out now to say, congratulations on this day. May God continue to bless you as you move down this journey, as you touch and impact so many lives. And ain't nobody mad but the devil. God bless.